accountable.
Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live.
Y'all know what time it is?
It's my time
It
to
is day 15 of day 28. We have 13 more days to go. Good morning, Terrell. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning, Darcel. It is nice to see you today.
I've been waiting for a long time now.
Y'all know what time it is. It is accountability time. Good morning, Tiara. Thank you so much for joining.
'Cause I may not get another
Good
chance.
morning, Miss Bennett Lee. Thank you so much for joining. Today is day 15 of day 28. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Miss Darcel. Good morning, Tamara. Hey, Justin. That's my brother, y'all, from another mother. Good morning. Thank you all so much for joining. It is Friday. It's the end of the week. We made it. We made it another week. And it's day 15. Yes, it's day 15. Yes, Darcel. I don't know where you've been, honey. But you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then you're able to go back and watch all 14 days. I don't want you to miss out. So if you subscribe to my YouTube, Ebony Mon Show, you'll be able to catch it. Good morning, my true love, Miss Daniela Coffee, the prayingest woman that I know on this side of heaven. Good morning, Carol. Thank you so much for joining all the way from Mississippi. Today is day 15 and we are pumped. We are pumped about it because guess what? It is our time. It's our time. So again, I am so grateful to everyone who joins me each and every morning at 7:30. We are committed because we are on a journey of accountability. So we are committed. I'm committed to you. You're committed to me. And don't forget, I said for the top 3 people who have been with me each and every morning at the end of the 28 days, I'll be in your inbox. I'm watching, I'm counting. I'll be in your inbox so that way I can send you a special gift of thank you for taking this accountability journey with me. I so appreciate you. Yes, I do. Good morning to Miss Shannon. Good morning, Dana. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to go ahead and get started because as I say every morning, I don't want to hold you long, but today I am so excited about what the message is for today. I hope you have your pens. I hope you have your pads because I am excited about what was dropped in my spirit to share with everyone today. Make sure you like, make sure you love, and lastly, make sure you share because I want to make sure that everyone is able to hear about what we're going to talk about today. So for those of you all who are new on the call, my name is Ebony Mon Show, and I am a motivational speaker, an accountability coach, and the CEO of 360 HR Solutions. I teach entrepreneurs, leaders, and influencers how to build success. And I do that by helping them to create structure, to develop processes, and to implement solutions that are sustainable. So today on day 15, we are talking about recognizing your power. How do we recognize our power? What is our power? What is our personal power? And why is it important for us to recognize that we have personal power? Because we've been talking about the accountability journey. We talked about setting goals. We've talked about what is goals, what is accountability. We've talked about divorcing our excuses. And so in order for us to be able to now accomplish all of the goals that we have set aside, the goals that we know that we want to accomplish, we have to recognize the personal power that we possess. It's important for us to recognize that power that we have already within us. So when you think about the word power, what image comes to mind? Because all of us, we have an image that comes to our mind when we think about the word power. Some of of us think about a person in a high ranking position, right? Some of us think about the rich and the famous, like the Oprahs, the Tyler Perrys. We think about the Kardashian clan, right? We think about Gucci Mane and Keisha Kaur, right? Some of us think about the rich and famous when we think about the word power. Or maybe some people may even say God, because he's all powerful, he's all knowing, he's almighty. So it just depends on the person what image comes to mind when you think about the word power. Now, there are so many people who think about and view materialistic stuff as a position of power. So it's only when you can wear Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Balenciaga, Tom Ford, Jimmy Choo, when you have Christian Louboutins, when you have YSL, because Lord knows, I don't know if y'all seen those YSL heels, they black, and on the heel of the shoe, it say YSL. Yes, I love those shoes. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen those before, but check them out. They are something to aspire to. But some people think about materialistic things when they think about power, because the way the world is set up now, it's the labels, it's the money, it's the titles, it's those things that most people attribute to power, right? But it is motivated, right? Sometimes that type of power, that materialistic power, is motivated by a desire to please other people. It's motivated by a desire to please other people, and the fact that we can influence and or impress other people by our prized possession gives some of us power, right? If we can influence and if we can impress, and if other people think that we have it going on because they see us when we step outside the door and we look fly as ever, we have designer on from head to toe, they feel like that we have power. If we have money in our bank accounts, some people view that as having power, right? But if I was given the scientific job, right? If I was to be able to wave my magic wand and I was able to be a scientist inside of a science lab, and they told me, Ebony, your job is to come up with a name for this type of power that we've been talking about thus far. If I was given the job to come up with a name for this type of power based on my research, and I'm sure some of my younger people that are on the line today, they are going to understand. They're going to know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. But if I had to go into my mind and come up with a researched name for this type of power, it is going to be flogging power. How many people know what it means to flog, right? How many individuals do I have on the live today have ever heard of flogging before? McCoy, have you heard of flogging before? When we worked together, I was the one who kept you up to date on all of the newest terms. So how many people know what I'm talking about when I say flogging? And so if this is the type of power that you are aware of, that resonates with you, then that means that you are flogging. And flogging is basically a shortened version of the word camouflage. That's what flogging is. It's a shortened version of the word camouflage. And it basically means to pretend, to front, to hide, or to mask the truth. So if you ever hear a young person say, oh man, they flogging, that means that they are hiding something. They're masking the truth. They're being pretend, right? They are not being true to themselves. They are fronting. Back in my day, that's what we used to call it. We used to call it fronting. Well, in today's time, they call it flogging, right? And so if you were to lose your money, if you were to lose your fortune, if you were to lose your fame, if you no longer had those name brand items, right? Does your power leave you? Do you still feel as if you are powerful if you no longer have those things? If you no longer have silver, if you no longer have gold, if you no longer have money, if you can't afford to wear designer possessions, if that's not what you have, if you attribute power to those things and they all go away, do you still feel like you have power? And if the God honest truth answer to that question is no, you don't feel like you still have power, then that means you have been flogging all along. And it's okay. Sometimes when I come on here, I take away some edges every once in a while. I haven't snatched any edges in the last couple of days. So the Lord laid it on my spirit. Today is edge snatching day, right? So if this is how you have been able to define power in your own life, that means you have been flogging, you've been fake, you've been fronting, you've been hiding behind those materialistic things. You have been masking the truth. And today is Recognize Your Personal Power Day. And it is not attributed to any of those things. So if that's how you have been defining power, I want you to wrap all of those things up, right? Wrap up that type of personal power immediately. Bag it up, and I want you to throw it out with yesterday's trash, not today's trash, because usually if we wait and we throw it out with today's trash, that means it's not going to go out until tomorrow, because some of us have already taken out our trash for today. So I want you to think in your mind about the fact that the trash has been sitting already for 24 hours or longer, because some of us, we live by ourselves. So we don't accumulate garbage that quickly. So if you cooked yesterday breakfast or dinner and you still have that garbage bag sitting in your house, it's going to stink. And that's how I want you to think about this type of power. It is stinking on you. The smell is exuding. It's coming out of your pores. Get rid of it. Get rid of flogging power. Take it out with yesterday's trash. So today, I want us to focus our attention today on personal power, because that's what we're going to talk about. We're getting rid of flogging power. We're taking it out, and we are going to focus on personal power, right? So I want to leave some time today, right, so that we can awaken the sense of personal power that we possess, because we all have it. We all have that personal power. Sometimes it's laying dormant on the inside of us. I don't know if you've ever had a bank account. Some of us, our parents opened savings accounts for us when we were children, and we have forgotten all about those. And one day you will go check the mail and you'll have a letter from the bank, and it says that you have this savings account that's been laying dormant for all of these years. It has X amount of dollars in it. And what they mean by that is it hasn't been any activity. No activity has happened on this account in over X number of years. So it's just sitting here, right? And so that is how some of our personal power is. Our personal power is laying dormant inside of us. And so the purpose of today's live is to awaken the personal power that you have that's laying dormant on the inside of you. So what is personal power, Ebony? What is personal power? Because in order for me to recognize it, when I see it, when I hear it, when I feel it, when I taste it, when I touch it, in order for me to be able to know what it is, then I have to be able to recognize it. So what is it? What is personal power? So personal power is the ability to change the direction of your life. That's what personal power is. It's the ability to change the direction of your life. So we all have it. We just have to connect with it. We have to own it. Connect with it and own it. Marry those two together. Connect with it and own it. Personal power is the ability to change the direction of your life. So now this type of power, personal power, it can only be attained and activated, right? Because it's not just about receiving it, but it's also about activating it. So it can only be attained and activated when we begin to cultivate. Now, what does cultivate mean? That means grow. When we begin to cultivate qualities in our life, such as unconditional love, self-esteem, and accountability. That's how we begin to cultivate personal power. If it's laying dormant in our lives, the way we begin to cultivate it so it can grow is by unconditional love, by self-esteem, and lastly, by accountability. So now personal power, I want you to get this. I want you to understand that it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with what is happening on the outside world. It has nothing to do what's happening inside of your house, what's happening inside of your job, what's happening at the church. Personal power has nothing to do with your husband, your kids, your wives, your significant others, your boo thing, that complicated situation, right? It has nothing to do with any of those things, but it has everything to do with what is happening within yourself, with what is happening on the inside of you. That's what personal power has to do with. What's going on the inside of Ebony. That's what personal power has something to do with. So it's based on your attitude, it's based on your thought pattern, and it's based on your beliefs. So, and just think about this now. Some of us, Lord help us, some of us have been giving away our personal power so long to other people, and we don't realize, we don't recognize that that is robbing us of our mental strength. When you give away your personal power, you are robbing yourself of your mental strength. Now, in order for us to have our mental strength, right, we have to maintain control of our lives. We have to maintain control of our lives. So that requires you to make a conscious decision. So I don't know if you're ready. I don't know if you came on the live today to be ready to make a conscious decision, but it is conscious decision time, right? I need you to make a decision today. Here we are. We're on the Matrix, and Neo is being presented by the red and the blue pill. Today is red or blue pill time. It is make a conscious decision time. Which route are you going to go? Are you going to continue down the route of flogging power? If so, boom, here is your red pill. If you are ready to take control of your personal power, if you are ready to make that conscious choice to take back your power that you have allowed to lay dormant, that you have allowed other people to have control of, if you are ready for that, then boom, here is your blue pill. Which pill are you taking? Let me know right now that I have some people out here who is ready to take that blue pill. Or maybe you say, Ebony, I'm not ready. I'm going to hang on to this red pill a little while longer. Where are you? Let me know right now. Is it red? Is it blue? Which one is it? Is it red? Is it blue? Boom, red or blue. Where are you? I need to know, so that way I can know what we need to do to get you on the track where you are ready to take that blue pill. Because I want everyone to leave the call today motivated, encouraged, inspired, influenced to take the blue pill today. So when we think about taking back our own power, that means that we have to stop using the words, and we have to stop with the thought pattern of saying things like this, right? Girl, she just made me snap off on her. Now think about that, and you tell me, if we're on a journey of taking back our personal power, what's wrong with that sentence? She just made me snap off on her. Or can you believe, now this us talking to our girlfriends, right? Can you believe he just made me bust out all the windows in his car, girl? I went over there and he made me slash all them tires, all those tires. He made me slash all them tires, girl. Can you believe that? And the last one is, I went to lunch with my coworkers, y'all. And can y'all believe they made me eat 2 pieces of cake? They made me eat 2 pieces of cake. Now, when we think about our personal power, no one can make us do anything. If that's right, Dana, if we have control of our lives, no one can make you do anything. No one. I don't care what they do, what their behavior says. No one can dictate to you then what your response is going to be. And that's why it's important for us to recognize our personal power, take it back, wake it up, awaken it in our lives, because for too long we have allowed people to have control over our personal lives, have control over our behavior, and no one can dictate to us who we are. No longer will we say that he made me do it, she made me do it, or the one that I love is the devil made me do it. The devil made me do it. Or either, oh, I forgot, my past is dictating what I do today and what I'm going to do in my future. No, remember, you said you wanted that blue pill. And because you want the blue pill, that means that we are no longer going to allow those things to control who we are starting today. Now, most people simply react to life. And I don't want anybody who decided that they were going to take the blue pill to be reactive to life anymore. We have to be proactive. So I suggest that you join, and it is only a small percentage. It's only a 20% of people that are what I like to call the elite people. And those are the individuals who direct and control the direction of their lives. So if you can recognize your personal power, if you can take control of your personal power back, then that means good job. You have joined the 20% of people who are elite, those individuals who are no longer reactive to life, but they are proactive and they are in control. Now I'm going to give you 3 quick reasons, and then we're going to get out of here. 3 quick reasons why it is important to cultivate your personal power. Because remember, we said that we have to grow it. We have to grow personal power. If you've never had control of your life, then you're not going to wake up and have control. We have to grow it. That means we have to plant the seed, and then we have to water it. We have to till the dirt. We have to do some work, right? And so 3 reasons why it's important for us to cultivate our personal power. The first reason is because it increases self-confidence. When we have personal power, it increases our self-confidence. And what is self-confidence? Self-confidence comes from when you are able to accept who you are as a human being, all of your strengths, all of your weaknesses, right? And having self-confidence leads to ultimate success. When we have self-confidence, it leads us down the journey of ultimate success because we're able to deal with stress. We're able to deal with our emotions, all the better. And we have a greater level of happiness. So we want to have our personal power because we want to be happy in life. We want to be happy with who we are, right? That's what we want to be. So it increases our self-confidence. The next thing it does is it increases our self-love. When we are able to cultivate, recognize our personal power, we know that it then increases our self-love. So when we have self-love, that means that no matter what you do, you will always love yourself with the same level of strength. right? Self-love is not a destination. It's not something that we're going to arrive to. You're not going to get on the plane and fly for 16 hours and end up in self-love, right? You will not get on the plane and you will not hear the flight attendant say, "Thank you all for boarding the flight United 228. We are leaving Chicago O'Hare, departing city, and our next stop is going to be Self-Love USA." It's not going to happen. Self-love is not a destination, but it is a practice. Self-love is a practice, and that means that it's something that you have to work at every single day. Remember, we are cultivating, and when you are growing flowers, when you have something growing in your garden, it requires your daily attention. Self-love is the foundation on which we build a happy life. Who don't want a happy life? Who out there is looking for a happy life? And when you want a happy life, you build that based on self-love. And without self-love, we have nowhere to put love or abundance that comes to us. Now, what does that mean, Ebony? We are unable to accept the love that people give us when we don't have self-love. It's hard for me to open up and allow somebody else to love me, to care for me, to nurture me when I don't love myself. If I can't look in the mirror and love the person that I see, then it's difficult for me to be able to accept that love when it comes to me from someone else. So that is another reason why we need to be able to recognize, why we need to be able to cultivate our personal power, because we want to be able to look in the mirror and we want to be able to love the person that we see. The last thing that cultivating personal power does is it increases self-awareness, right? And self-awareness is understanding who you are. Again, it's understanding your strengths. It's understanding your weaknesses. It's understanding how you got to be the way that you are. It is understanding your presence. And it is understanding how your behavior affects other people. Because our behavior does affect other people. And that's what self-awareness is understanding all of those things. It is self-awareness allows you to see yourself different in a more honest light. And it's important for us to be honest with ourselves. It's important for us to see ourselves honestly, so that way we can do the work that's necessary so that we can gain control of our personal power. So as we get ready to wrap it up today, I say to you, recognize today that you have the power already. You have it today to change your life. You have the authority, right, to love yourself. You have it already for who you are. Look yourself in the mirror when this live is over and say, I love you. I love you for who you are right now. You have the right, right? We have the God-given right to think for yourself. You don't need anybody else to think for you. You have the right to think for yourself and to pursue your ultimate happiness. Pursue it. Pursue your ultimate happiness. You have the power to command a life full of peace and a life full of freedom, right? I want you to feel free. You have the power to have a life of peace and a life of freedom, right? And in the Bible, it says, who the Son sets free is truly free indeed, right? And I'll leave you with a quote from Henry Rollins. He said that scar tissue is stronger than regular tissue. Realize the strength that you have and move on. Scar tissue is stronger than regular tissue. I want you to think about that as we end the call today, as we end the live. Scar tissue is stronger than regular tissue. And the reason why that is because the things that we go through strengthen us. Right? The things that we have been through strengthen us. It gives us strength for the journey. The things that we have overcame. And guess what? My favorite scripture tells us, Romans 8:28, right? For all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. All things, that mean bad things, all of the bad things that have happened to us in our lives, they are working for our good. So that scar tissue is stronger. It makes us stronger. It yields us more results, right? It's better than Charmin's, y'all. So realize the strength and the power that you have within you and move on. You already said you want that blue pill. Leave the call today walking in the power and the authority that we have because we are King's kids. Thank you all so much for joining each and every day. Today was day 15, recognizing your personal power. I ask that you come back each and every day. We have 13 more days to go on our journey of accountability. Again, my name is Ebony Moncho. I am a motivational speaker, an accountability coach, and the CEO of 360 HR Solutions. And I teach entrepreneurs, leaders, and influencers how to build success. That's what we're talking about, building success. I do that by helping them to create structure, develop processes, and implement solutions that are sustainable. Thank you so much. Remember, it is your time.